Hello everybody, hello YouTube friends, this is Jim from Texas, and today is my first bicycle moto vlog or pedal vlog, or I don't know what the bicyclists even call it. Let's give you a little backstory. I have been working hard for the last 6 months or so on my health, and I've lost a fair amount of weight, and I've been trying to get more exercise. And I like riding bicycles. I rode bicycles a whole lot in college back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And after a succession of junk bicycles, I bought a 1973 Raleigh Supercourse 10-speed, which was very high-tech and very expensive for a college student at his time. 1974, I rode that pretty much around the periphery of Ireland while I was waiting to go on active duty in the Air Force. And I had that bike from I guess probably the spring of '73 up until about a year ago. About a year ago, I was in my garage. I had it hanging on a wall over there, and the garage door was open like it is now. And I went in for about 10 minutes, came back out, my bike was gone. Even though I'm in a nice, safe neighborhood, quote unquote, somebody had driven by, seen my bike hanging on a hanger there on the wall, jumped out of their truck, grabbed it, and ran off with it. So I lost the bike that I'd love. Well, with this, my son had a couple of junk Walmart bikes in the shed, so when I started trying to want to ride bikes again a few months ago, I put one sort of operating bike together, but it kept crashing and jamming and throwing me off. It was horrible. So I got the chief financial approval to go ahead and buy another good bike. I remember how hard it was to come up with $183 in 1974 when $183 was serious money. But that bike lasted me almost 40 years, and I would still be riding it were it still here. But unfortunately, it's not. The Walmart bikes are garbage. They're a waste of money. Don't buy them. I don't want to come across as one of these arrogant bicycle male organs, if you know what I mean, because I'm not ever going to be like that, because first of all, I'm still pretty chubby, and I'm just never be real athletic enough to pull off the arrogance thing. But having ridden that Walmart bike and put up with all its gear jams and brake dragging and uncomfortable seat and all that crap, I started wanting a good bike. A collie. The problem is I'm Rip Van Winkle when it comes to bikes. I know that I was high-tech. I know the high-tech bikes from 1973. I don't really, and I had it configured just perfect for me, so I never really did anything to it. I just rode it and did minor adjustments for 35 years. It worked great. Raleigh, you did a good job on my bike. I hope ever the asshole who stole it is enjoying it, or at least the guy he sold it to at the pawn shop for 10 bucks. Colleague at work named Kim was a bicycle commuter and not arrogant, and so I asked her to talk about what kind of bike I would like, because I'm not going to do the long distance rides I used to do. I'll do the long distance rides on my FJR motorcycle back there. But I might want to go, I can see myself maybe riding 10 or 20 miles possibly someday, and certainly they're within about a 5-mile radius of my house. There's errands I can run that I could do on this bike. So after talking to her, she recommended a saleswoman, and we talked about, I'm not gonna be racing. I'm a very slow rider, but I want to be comfortable. I'm a little bit older, cough cough. So I didn't need anything, and I wanted something that would be reliable on the road. So she suggested this, what I wanted. The class of bikes is called a hybrid bike. I guess that's somewhat between what they're now calling a road bike, which is what I guess my Raleigh was, with the curved handlebars downwards like a bicycle racer would have, and real light frame, and a mountain bike, which is a heavy duty bike. So this is hybrid. So the bike I round up with was the first one that my friend Kim recommended. It's this bike. It's a Trek Verve 2 hybrid bike. I haven't ridden it yet except at the parking lot and the bike shop a couple of times. I really liked it. I'm about to take the first ride on it. It's going to be pretty short because it's 85 degrees and getting warmer out there. I don't want to take any chances with any sort of heat incident, because I just got my aviation medical 3 days ago. The last thing I need is an ER visit now, so probably no problem to do anything at 85 degrees, but I'm not taking any chances. But I got to ride it some, so I'm going to ride it a mile or two here in a minute. I'll come back and tell you how I liked it. What I liked about it, as soon as I got on it, I could tell it was good machinery. I have been an engineer since 1974, or at least trained as one anyway. And I know a good piece of machinery when I get it. As bikes go today, this is the list price on this bike is $549, and that's what I wound up paying at Bicycle Sport in Austin. The sales lady there, Judith, is somebody who's been around the bend once or twice, knew what she's talking about. I really liked working with her. She works in the Lamar Street office of Bicycle Sport in Austin. Highly recommend her. I like the seat. The seat was the most comfortable seat I'd ever ridden a bike on. Way more comfortable than what I had on my Raleigh. I don't know what brand it is, but it's a good one. It comes with the speeds. 10 speeds was plenty. I don't see the point in 21 speeds, but you know, I guess that's what you have to sell a bike now. Is you have to have lots of speeds for some crazy reason. I left the stock pedals, although my Raleigh had the straps on them, and I'll probably get strap pedals for these too. I had to add a rack because I want to get, I have a, now that I'm paranoid, I have this giant U-shaped lock. You've seen them. I want to be able to strap it on here, and I think I can get a small bag of some kind here. I got light. I already had the front light from my Walmart junk bike. That rear light I had wouldn't fit on it, so I had them put one on. Lights are very bright compared to my Raleigh had this funky giant generator thing on the front tire, and it would add about 30 pounds of drag to the bike, so you couldn't really use it. It's amazing how fast technology's come. But it's got a suspension a little bit, a little front suspension, which is kind of a weird thing to me. Bikes now all can do turn the wheels all the way around almost, which is not what you did in '73. Another nice thing about it that we didn't have in '73 is the cables run through the frame to go back here to the back, so there's just less chance of snagging them and stuff. I'm assured that these brakes are good quality V-brakes and they will stay adjusted, and if I have to adjust them, they're not too hard. I got to figure out how to adjust these because nothing's more irritating than dragging a brake. So I like this. But the main thing is I got on this bike and I felt at home immediately. I mean, I rode at 10 feet and I could tell it was the bike for me. It just fit me perfectly. I'm probably going to raise the seat and maybe a 3/4 of an inch, and that'll be all it took. That they were willing to put me on this bike dynamometer stuff. I said, don't even bother. Let me ride it some, and you know, and then I'll tweak it a little bit. So I haven't ridden it. So I guess the thing to do now is to ride it, come back here and give you my first impression. So I promise I'm only going to go a mile or two because it's too hot for Jim to risk any sort of heat incident at his advanced age, you know, being so incredibly old. So let me get up, ride the bike. I'll come back in a few minutes and we'll talk about how my first mile or two went.